All right, well, good evening or good afternoon, I should say, back with you here. Had to do a quick reset on some stuff. I'm back and take care of some of the idiots in the comments, so I took care of those as well while I had to step away for a quick moment, take care of Mother Nature. All right, speaking of Mother Nature, here we go. We do have a plethora of tornado warnings now, especially on that storm coming out of Newark in that area for Muskingum County. Again, that's the latest tornado warning, but right now we have five tornado warnings on the board, six in the radar coverage area. Let's start with the most prominent one down here. We're going to go ahead and zoom in on this one down just outside of, or for Claremont County, kind of this one here. Let's go ahead and get into this. Let's look at our base velocity. You can very clearly still see some rotation there, but a few moments ago, you can still see it a little bit here, but you can see this, and man, the tornado warnings just keep coming in here. Another one for Clinton County, Fayette County. We're going to get to a reset of all of these. These are on the bottom of your screen. They are scrolling as well. So all these are scrolling on the bottom of your screen. I'm just trying to read a lot of different things as well. So right here, this is the most concerning one. I won't say we don't have concerning ones, but the most concerning one right now is we have an observed tornado warning here that was observed. Now they're going back with radar indicated. But as we back up this debris ball tracker, as we call it, I'm going to put it into motion as it come through Claremont County. You can see that very, very clearly. So I'm going to back that up right there just to the south of Amanda. As I move it forward, this is what we call a debris ball tracker. So we are going to move that forward here. You can see really, man, as that crossed over 132, this is when they went ahead and said it was radar, it moved to observed instead of radar indicated, as was lofting debris in the air. We're seeing a stretch of cameras that appear to be offline too, all throughout this general area, and some power outages, but you can still see debris being lofted here, and it's starting to dissipate here as it gets to the south of Bethel. And out of good precaution, they issued another tornado warning out ahead of this, and you could still see that a little bit of debris being lofted, maybe some remnants of it being lofted as we are current right now. So let's go ahead and recap everything here for you. I'm going to zoom back out. We'll turn it back to reflectivity and kind of zoom out here. We have lots of tornado warnings across the board, as we expected this to happen as further southern portion of the state, as the weather continues to disintegrate as far as the atmosphere. So let's go ahead and look at all these tornado warnings that we have going on right now. The first one we're going to start with over in Claremont County that we just talked about. And again, that one was observed for a while, and they took that back. But this remains in effect for another 5 minutes for central Claremont County. They reissued this one just to the outside of Claremont County, as you can see on your screen as well, for a portion of Claremont and Brown County. So southern Claremont County, this is the other warning just outside of this for southeastern Claremont County and southwestern Brown County. This one goes until 3:45. Again, they're saying radar indicated right now, which is a good sign that it's not on the ground as it once was a few minutes ago. Georgetown, Bethel, Felicity, Hammersville, Higginsport, Point Isabel, Feesburg, and Salt Air. You need to be in your tornado-safe shelter. That's the tornado warning down there. We are going to go back up here to the north now, just outside here of Hillsboro, just outside of Washington Courthouse. This is the latest tornado warning that comes in here for us in this portion of the state, just outside here. We're in outside of Wilmington. We're in Clinton County, very close to the radar site. This one goes until 3:45 as well for southeastern Fayette County, east central Clinton County, and north central Highland County until 3:45. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that's moving east at 35 miles an hour. So that's what we got going on here with that one. They're looking here: Greenfield, Leesburg, Staunton, Lees Creek, East Monroe, Rock Mills, New Martinsburg, and Melvin. You're in the path of this storm you need to be in your tornado safe shelter. Keep scrolling over here to the other one. We had some tornado warnings earlier here for Muskingum County, and we do have another one from Muskingum County on the second line that's moving in. So I'm going to start with the latest one that's being issued here on the second line just outside of Zanesville that's been moving off here towards the southeast. So Muskingum County, here we go. This one is producing a tornado. This one here for central Muskingum County once again. This is another one, not the same one we had earlier, but this is a new one with the second line of storms moving through here. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles west of Zanesville, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Ping pong ball size hail is possible with this storm as well. So if you're in Zanesville, South Zanesville, North Zanesville, Philo, Pleasant Grove, Duncan Falls, Bridgeville, Chandlersville, Blue Rock State Park, and Dillon State Park, you need to be on the lowest level that you can get to and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And again, we also have that other tornado warning here just to the south of this. That was the one that prompted it earlier. We have two of them going on here. Let's go ahead and read these ones. I'm going to read the northern one here. For all intents and purposes, it could be one. But there is a tornado warning for southwestern Noble County. And this one, again, goes until 3:30. And then this one here, little sliver of Morgan County, goes until 3:45. This particular storm cell, the southern one just outside of Caldwell, is still showing good signs of rotation. So not saying that they're all not, but this one outside of Caldwell is got some pretty good hook going on with it as well. So you need to be in your tornado safe shelter if you're in this particular polygon, or these two polygons, I should say, one for Morgan County and then one for the southwestern portion of Noble County, especially Caldwell. Right outside of Caldwell, right over Caldwell, I should say, is where that rotation is right now. So again, we got a lot of tornado warnings on the board, trying to bounce back and forth between them. And let's go back over here to this. Let's go to this northern one. I didn't spend a little bit of time on this one just outside of Zanesville. I read the warning, but kind of looking here, let's go ahead and look at base velocity. And again, I'm kind of shooting from Wilmington. Let's see if that one works. And let's look at something else. I know I'm a little bit further away, very murky kind of, but we're kind of caught between radar sites here, so it's kind of a crapshoot on which one to look at here. But Pittsburgh, let's go ahead and flip over to Pittsburgh and look at a couple of these here for just a moment. And yeah, there we go. Much better picture from Pittsburgh. Kind of see here that general area of rotation, kind of weakened, but it was there a few scans ago. So let's go ahead and back the radar up. And yeah, right there it started to rotate. You kind of see just outside of Zanesville, just started to rotate. And that's when they issued that tornado warning. So that one was probably more of a precaution as this atmosphere is primed and ready to go. But this one here, I tell you, this one here in just outside of, or in Noble County, outside of Morgan County, still showing some pretty good signs of rotation. Wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing some stuff out of that. We're getting 1 to 2 inch hail markers coming off of this storm as well. So we have to keep that in mind as we're seeing lots of large hail and heavy winds and heavy rain, I should say, coming out of that one. Let's go ahead and look here. They let that one tornado warning go for Claremont County, but they reissued it just downstream of that. This one's looking a little bit better now than we've seen earlier, but you never can let your guard down with this particular storm cell. We had a tornado debris signature on this one through Claremont County, so there was debris being lofted in the air. So you need to be in your tornado safe shelter and get as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and cover your neck and head. It's very important to be in that tornado safe shelter. Don't be looking at it. Get to the tornado safe shelter, especially this one here in Claremont County. I can't stress that one enough. This one has produced damage and has lofted damage into the atmosphere. So definitely some damage going to be coming in here out of Claremont County. So if you're downstream of this here in Brown County, take this warning very seriously. It's getting ready to cross into Brown County here in just a few minutes. Georgetown being the biggest metropolis there right now that's coming at you. Sorry about that. And let's go up here to the one just outside of Wilmington, just to the south of Washington Courthouse. Spend a little bit of time on this one as well. So Again, on this one in particular, we have this tornado warning here. It goes until 3:45. Radar indicated. Very, very clear picture of this one because we're right outside the radar site in Wilmington. This one's for southwestern Fayette County, east central Clinton County, north central Highland County until 3:45. So again, you need to be in your tornado safe shelter as well. 3:45. This is radar indicated. All of these now across Ohio are radar indicated. They were, the one in Claremont County was observed, but now they've moved these back to radar indicated. So a tornado could be forming, but we do have radar indicated rotation. So Greenfield, Leesburg, Staunton, Lees Creek, East Monroe, Rock Mills, New Martinsburg, and Melvin. You need to be in that tornado safe shelter. You can see here right where that rotation is occurring, and everything's kind of moving off towards the east right now, 35 to 45 miles an hour kind of being where that's coming in at right now. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Give me one quick second here, just looking at a couple things here off screen from some of the forecasters that work behind the screens. And just looking to see if we got anything coming in here. Definitely seeing cameras that went offline. Yeah, definitely seen cameras go offline throughout Claremont County, which is something that we look at, weather cams and things. So a lot of those went offline. So we're expecting quite a bit of damage potentially coming in there because that was a very, very large debris ball signature that we had there a little bit ago. So some people are asking, I've seen it very quickly, Batavia, you are no longer in the warning. So you can come out of your tornado safe shelter. Batavia is up here. That warning has expired, but it is not expired as it's moving for southeastern Claremont County. It's moving now into more of western Brown County right now. So if you're in Brown County, you need to seek tornado shelter and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Working our way back up north, again, that Wilmington storm, still showing some signs of some embedded rotation, not seeing it as strong as it was. We're going to flip back over to reflectivity here in just a moment, and you kind of see here, if there's anything up in this area, you're going to be rain-wrapped. So you see a lot of rain, and I don't have the severe or flash flood warnings turned on right now because it would make it too much of a mess on the screen. But that one will definitely be rain wrapped. So you need to make sure, again, that you're in your tornado safe shelters with that one as well for you in southwestern Fayette County, east central Clinton County, and north central Highland County. Coming over here to our friends in Muskingum County, don't want to forget you. We're seeing some intensifying a little bit here outside of Zanesville, and I'm going to flip over to the Pittsburgh radar so we can stay as close as we can here. For this one, we have 2 tornado warnings down in this general area in the mid-Ohio Valley, and we'll start here with this Zanesville warning, the one that encompasses Zanesville. So this tornado warning here for, excuse me, southern Muskingum County, I'll get it right, southern Muskingum County goes until 3:30, and then there's another tornado warning just being issued right now as we see. This one here for Zanesville that we're looking at, that one doesn't surprise me. We're kind of reissued it here for portions of out ahead of this for Noble County and Monroe County. So you're going to see another tornado warning pop up right on this storm that we're in. You just seen it pop up right there. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. But this one here that I have highlighted right here for the Zanesville area goes until 3:30, and still showing some decent signs of rotation as we look at it here. Looking at everything here, you can still see some embedded rotation. And then here to the one to the south, I'm going to flip back over to something a little bit different. There we go. Seeing some good rotation still on this one that had produced a couple tornado warnings here back towards the east or west. We've seen one over Muskingum County again. This is the downstream warnings from this one. So the latest one that just came in, as this is kind of crossing right over Caldwell right now. So the newest tornado warning that just came in is for southwestern Monroe County and southern Noble County until 3:45. And then you can kind of see here a little bit of this rotation as I can see off screen kind of some embedded rotation. Still very valid. We're not getting any reports out of this area that I have seen just yet. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on that one as it continues to move. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. So if you're, it's kind of weird. If you're in Muskingum County, you've already had your second tornado warning of the day, and if third, depending on where you're at. But if you're in Noble or Guernsey County or even portions of Monroe County, as this one passes, you're not done yet. You still have another storm system back behind this that is also producing tornado warnings. So you need to make sure that you don't let your guard down just yet as these tornado warnings continue here throughout the afternoon. So as we kind of recap, let's just go ahead and zoom out and kind of recap everything for you here across southern Ohio. This is kind of where we're looking at here right now. We do have a plethora of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect as well, but we're focusing in on the tornado warnings that we have had. So if you're just joining us, Owen Fritzen here with you Tuesday afternoon. It's about 3:22 in the afternoon right now, and we're continuing to watch tornado warnings across southern Ohio. As we did expect, as this happened, we did expect an uptick of severe weather the further south that we went today. We did expect the uptick of severe weather because of the unstable atmosphere that we're seeing. The latest guidance here from the Storm Prediction Center, kind of turning on the tornado guidance here, looking at this, kind of matching up right with what we thought tornadoes would again occur as kind of moved right along that line that they had drawn. It's kind of matching up very nicely with what they're saying and the enhanced risk area as well. We moved into from the slight to the enhanced risk. Storms are firing up right along that line, a little bit before the line, but it's kind of making sense on what the Storm Prediction Center guidance had put out from earlier. So let's turn that off. Let's clean up the radar here a little bit for you so we can look at what's going on. They have trimmed back some of the warnings for some of the areas. Let's go ahead and just going to recap. I'm going to start here for our friends on the latest tornado warning here for our friends over here in Morgan County and portions of Noble County as well. So let's look at this here real quick. This is the latest warning that's come in. This goes until 3:45. And as we look at this warning is for southwestern Monroe County and southern Noble County until 3:45. Still doing a good amount of rotation. Excited to see those inflow notches very clearly there. So very, very pronounced rotation with this one. Radar indicated rotation, and we're also seeing in this particular storm cell golf ball size hail. So they're seeing some reports that you can see those deep dark purples there just outside of Caldwell. So very deep dark purple. The other tornado warning that pretty much will be expired here in a few minutes, about 5 minutes, but they issued the other one that I just talked about out ahead of this one. But this one was for southeastern Noble County, and this one goes until 3:30. Again, they issued that next one as a continuation because the rotation now is pretty much moved past that polygon, maybe not just a little bit there near Caldwell, but Caldwell's in the new warning as well. But for all intents and purposes, this warning here towards the east is done. We got another 5 minutes on that one. Now let's go up here into the one covering Philo, just outside of Zanesville. This was trimmed back. This one did include Zanesville a few minutes ago. But again, for Muskingum County, this one remains in effect. Tornado warning remains in effect here for Muskingum County, for southeastern Muskingum County until 3:30. This one has kind of been a hit or a miss. There was some signs of rotation with this. They also are seeing 2-inch hail. This one, again, has been kind of one of those ones I think was done as more of a precautionary measure because we did see a pretty good rotation signature, so we'll have to wait and see if this one's reissued. My confidence level isn't as high on this one, but the one down here near Caldwell for Morgan County and Noble County, that one looks like it's still going to be valid. Because we're still seeing a lot of rotation embedded with this one, so I wouldn't be surprised there if that continues. All right, let's flip back over here towards, let's go back over, and we need to switch radar sites anyway. Let's go back over towards Wilmington, and let's look at this other tornado warning that we have in progress for portions of Fayette County here. Let's look at this one for southwestern Fayette and north central Highland counties until 3:45. Sorry, it jumped, and they just expired it as soon as I clicked on it. So that one is gone. Although we have to, don't let your guard down on this one. And there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings that we haven't even talked about. But don't let your guard down. Still see some inflow areas here in near Leesburg and Greenfield, but they just canceled that one as we speak. So that one is gone now for us, and it'll clean up the board here just a little bit. All right, let's go down to the one here that's caused damage. We know that this one here, if you're joining us, when it was in Clermont County, right now it's not. It is for Brown County. So southwestern Brown County, you have a tornado warning here until 3:45 and a radar indicated rotation. A few scans ago, I should say a few minutes ago, as it was in Clermont County, it was considered observed. We had debris ball with this. We had a debris ball going on, a tornado debris signature that prompted the National Weather Service to say that it was observed. And we're probably going to see quite a bit of damage come in with this one in Clermont County. We're seeing a lot of things, a lot of weather sensors and things that went offline. But I wouldn't be surprised there that we're seeing a lot of damage probably come in off Clermont County because, and we do have another tornado warning that's coming in right now, as you can hear, but wouldn't be surprised in Adams and Brown County. So they went ahead and reissued this one for portions of Adams and Brown County. So they're extending this one out from Brown County into Adams County. There it is on your screen right there. So the latest one here, they went ahead and reissued that. That goes until 4:15 as the storm's picking up motion just a little bit, so it's speeding up just a little bit on before what we had. But wouldn't be surprised here that we see quite a bit of rotation going in on that. Yeah, we're still seeing lots of rotation, but wouldn't be surprised if we see lots of damage as well. So we're looking here, and let me go back here to, let me just show you what we were talking about. If we can cue it up for the longest time. You can still see, yeah, I'm backing it up. Let's see here. So, yeah, I'm going to stop this here once we get back into Clermont County. You can see here, and I can't go much further than this without doing some other things, but when it was in Clermont County, this was a debris ball. This is, it's called correlation coefficient. If you watch some of the news stations, they call this the debris ball tracker. It was even tighter than this, so it means more debris was lofted in the air. So just south of Amelia, right in this general area, you can see that's debris being lofted in the atmosphere, and it kind of faded out here as it pushed off to the southeast. But yeah, that was debris being lofted in the air. So definitely need to make sure that you take that one very, very, very seriously as that continues here to produce tornado warnings as well. All right, we have another one for Washington, Ohio, Washington County, Ohio. That's just right on the edge of our coverage area, so they're kind of pushing that one downstream as well. Let's go ahead and get to current on this radar stream so you kind of know what we got going on here for Adams and Brown County. Again, tornado warning for you. The one that kind of pushed out here for portions of Adams County, into Adams County, I should say, goes until 4:15. So let's go ahead and flip back here to reflectivity, kind of show you what's going on. All signs on this one is a good sign right now. We're not seeing that very, 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 very intense rotation that we'd seen before. We're definitely not seeing debris that's being lofted in the air, but you need to make sure that you respect the polygon. Get to the lowest level of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is very, very important. We haven't even discussed severe thunderstorm warnings, and we're not even going to discuss severe thunderstorm warnings right at this particular moment. Going back over here to the latest tornado warning, again, the storms now are taking a little bit of a southern turn. So you kind of see the warnings keep draping to the south just a little bit. Earlier, they were moving pretty much due east. So the newest warning that just came in, they're clipping it for portions of Washington County. And I'm sure that's more as a precaution as this thing turns just to the southeast, just so slightly. So they're saying northeastern Washington County, you have a tornado warning now until 4 p.m. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado right near Caldwell, or I should say 8 miles southeast of Caldwell, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Again, mainly rural areas, but you need to make sure that you respect the polygon if you're in this area. So we're starting to see here the joining of these two storms, And you kind of see we have another tornado warning that's just been issued here. And this one's going to be for Muskingum and Noble counties. And this is that one right for this cell, right where my cursor's at. That's the latest one that has been issued now for this. So 2 different storm cells. And this one wasn't, they kind of let this other one go at 3:30, and then they just reissued it. So it's kind of a late issuance, as I call it. But they went ahead and reissued that one now, as we're starting to see a little bit of uptick in rotation. And let's look here at something here. Kind of see some embedded rotation. Definitely see some down here in the southern polygon for our friends here in Morgan and portions of Washington County. The way this looks, it will clip portions of Washington County as it moves off here to the south. They got it moving it east, but I'd say south to southeast right now. So we have 2 general areas here that we're continuing to watch. And again, tornado warnings. And out of these, we need to continue to make sure you respect that polygon. Poor Muskingum County today just getting hit, and Noble County getting hit and hit again. So you're seeing lots of tornado warnings, and people may be getting confused because as we look at this, you could see, man, they've had a tornado warning, now they have another tornado warning. Man, Caldwell's kind of been the prime target here for today. So right now we're looking at this newest tornado warning, and a lot of backflow, a lot of inflow notch here to the back. And one of the biggest things with this too to keep in mind is we are seeing just crazy amounts of torrential rain with this and with these storm cells. So it's just crazy amount of rain. So you're not going to be able to see any of this at all if you're trying to go outside and look for it, because more likely than not, it's going to be rain wrapped. And again, we're seeing a torrential amount of rain. I don't even have the flash flood warnings up right now, but if I did, flash flood warnings, there's a ton of them. You can see I just turned them on real quick, but there's a ton of them, especially over the areas where we have these tornado warnings as well. So there's just a torrential amount of rain that is occurring with these. So earlier, when we first started coverage earlier, we seen an uptick in some rotation here for Muskingum County, and that one kind of was impressive and continues to be impressive over that general area. The atmosphere is primed and ready to go. As we zoom in a little bit, we got reports from the National Weather Service even saying ping pong ball size hail. So we're looking at that as well. You can see the deep dark purple here, probably lots of hail going on just outside of Stafford. So again, another reason to be in that tornado safe shelter right now. So kind of looking here at this one, you're not done yet, Caldwell. You just got another tornado warning, and they're starting to clean them up just a little bit. But this general rotation that continues to come in here from Muskingum County and moving into portions here in Noble County, Caldwell, need to just remain in that tornado safe shelter. If you're in Cumberland, you're just outside of the warning, but depending on your address, you could be inside of that warning as well. Bell Valley, you need to be in your tornado safe shelter as well. I'll kind of zoom in here a little bit further. Kind of a weird polygon shape. Normally they don't shape them this direction, but they're this way. But they're seeing just kind of some general rotation, generalized rotation within these. So I can kind of see why they shaped it that way now. But let's go ahead and look here. Kind of see any one of these areas is starting to turn into, as we back up and look at kind of just the reflectivity, you kind of seeing along these general fronts, and it looks like two storms are trying to merge. But as we continue to look here, you can see that we continue to see pretty decent amount of rotation, but it's kind of an embedded rotation and along that line. So that's why they went ahead and issued it that way. Distinctive areas over here that we're continuing to watch, though, on the southern warning here for portions of, I wouldn't say Athens County, I almost said Athens County, but for portions here of Monroe County and Noble County, and then even portions of Washington County, you kind of see here deep dark purples. It's indicated of some pretty strong hail. But as we continue to look here at the rotation, still very clear right here as well. And that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. They're getting a pretty good return right here just outside of Washington County, but here for southeastern Noble County. So we're definitely going to have to watch that one, and I'm definitely trying to look at that. There may be a little bit of debris there trying to form. And the reason I say that and I continue to look at it is if I look at reflectivity, you kind of see this donut hole. That's something that is indicating there could be some rotation there as well, and it could be rain wrapped. So let's go ahead and flip over here to the southern warning. I know there's a lot of people watching for Chillicothe. You're not done. You still have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for portions of Chillicothe. And that storm cell that's over you all right now in Chillicothe has had a history of producing a tornado warning right now. Let's go ahead and go back down here to the south for a portion of Adams County and Brown County. This one had a history of producing an actual tornado. This one is, again, one of those ones that had a tornado debris signature on it. And we continue to see rotation with this, a very, very clear inflow notch and a very clear 6-hook. So let's look at the base velocity here. You could see that rotation, not as pronounced as it ever was, which is a good thing, but still has rotation inside of it. So sometimes these things like to pulsate. They go a little bit weaker and then they get a little bit stronger. So that's something that we're continuing to watch with this one. Again, this one down here, I'm going to go ahead and click on the outermost warning here. This goes until 4:15. This one here, definitely need to keep your eye on this one because this one had a history of producing an actual tornado on the ground. So that's one of the biggest things that we definitely want to make sure that we have your guard up for southeastern Brown County and west central Adams County until 4:15. So this one had producing a lot of tornadoes with it. And I wouldn't be surprised, and we're going to see damage out of Claremont County. The question is how much. All right. Real quick, too, I do want to point out a couple things. Flipping back over to reflectivity, we do have a plethora of severe thunderstorm warnings. One of those severe thunderstorm warnings we do want to focus in on. I know we have a lot of people in Chillicothe, and I'm going to break my norm and kind of look at this real quick. So if you're in the Chillicothe area, so if you're in Ross County, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. So they're looking here, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now being, and not even quarter-size sail, but 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts being the primary threat with this. However, earlier, as this moved over just to the south of Washington Courthouse, it did produce enough rotation to get a tornado warning. So I'm not seeing that at the moment. Not a lot of rotation going in on the moment, but you are seeing some pretty good winds come in here just to the north of Chillicothe, and particularly just outside of Kingston, but even in the northern portion of Chillicothe and northern Ross County, just outside of Frankfort, still seeing some pretty good embedded winds with this. So you need to make sure that you're respecting that polygon as much as possible. Winds kind of across that. We're seeing just, again, a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and we haven't even got a chance to cover those at this point. But Chillicothe, I know that's one of our bigger viewer areas, so I did want to say just a moment and talk to you guys there in Chillicothe. Don't let your guard down. Just make sure that you're indoors, staying away from windows because you're seeing some strong winds. Not seeing a lot of hail, but just seeing a pretty good gust of wind. Once this passes, obviously your severe risk decreases dramatically here for the day. Could have a few isolated cells behind this that you can see as it moves off to the southeast. All right, so looking here, coming back down into the tornado warnings here for our friends, again, in Brown and portion of Adams County. We're still seeing, you see this backwards, this is a tornado vortex signature, which means there's radar, for all intents and purposes, to make it easy on you, radar is seeing some sort of rotation there that looks like potentially a tornado signature. But if we're looking at this, you can kind of see some areas and some embedded areas of rotation. If we look at what we call storm relative velocity here, we're taking the motion out of the storm. Seeing some pretty good winds with this, but we're still seeing some embedded rotation as well. Right in this general area, you kind of see right between the two polygons, right outside of Russellville, State Route 68 in this general area outside of Georgetown, still seeing some generalized rotation here. In that general area. Again, not as pronounced, but it's still there. You kind of see the gate-to-gate shear here just outside of State Route 68 in this general area. Again, not as pronounced, but still, all intents and purposes, it is rotating. All right. Now, let's go back over here to Muskingum County, spend some time on this one, kind of bouncing around between warnings here and radar sites. And let's go back in here. We've got 2 warnings going on here that we'll look at here. We did have flash flood there. Okay, let's see what we got. New tornado warnings. So, Monroe County, tornado and ping pong ball size hail for you from Monroe County. All right. So it doesn't surprise me. That's kind of that continuation here, just to the north of this particular storm cell that we're seeing, because it's starting to go a little bit to the north. You can see another area of rotation developing. So we'll see this new warning pop up here momentarily. And let's go ahead and flip over to reflectivity, kind of show you what we got going on here. So this warning back here, this is a warning that's kind of you're starting to see these 2 storm cells merge a little bit. Let's go ahead and look here. Just trying to see if I can see anything. Man, there's definitely some rotation coming in on this one in Monroe County. Let's talk about here this most western tornado warning. This one is until 4 o'clock, so I got 20 more minutes. This is for southeastern Muskingum County and southwestern Noble County. Not seeing a lot of rotation with this one anymore. That's a good sign. I think as we have some cells start to merge here, we're not seeing as much rotation. If anything, the rotation has kind of moved to the south of this one, but still need to respect the polygon. You still need to be in that tornado safe shelter. This one down here, pretty much we're saying we want to just pretty much make 1 tornado warning, but we can't. We have 3 going on here. So we have 3 different tornado warnings, and let's go ahead and read them off here. We have this one goes until 4:15, and this one is for southwestern Monroe County, and tornado and ping pong ball size hail. And kind of this could be all 1 warning, but let's go ahead and read the next one over here. That's kind of button up against this one. I think this one is expired, or it will be expired here in just a moment, because most of the rotation's out of there. I'm actually showing it's expired. It just hasn't dropped off the screen yet. And then this southern one, just as a precaution for portions of northern Washington County, in case it would dip more to the south, has been issued until 4 o'clock. Now, we got to respect the polygon. Not seeing a lot in Washington County. It's right on the border of Washington County. The biggest area of rotation that we're seeing is right outside of Graysville. So we kind of back up here just a little bit. You see this this donut hole looking thing? That's what we're looking at. And we're continuing to see things here that continue to see it's getting a little bit stronger just outside of Graysville. This is that debris ball tracker that we're looking at. But let's continue to look here at this one outside of Graysville. That's the thing that we're continuing to look at here. And I'll put this into motion, moving towards the east and just now to the southeast. You can see they've lit up some severe thunderstorm warnings outside of this as well. But getting some pretty good rotation starting to form here just in this particular cell right here in Monroe County. And again, it may dip to the south into Washington County, as that's why they have that tornado warning as well there for the northern sliver of Washington County. So that's what we're looking at. And again, looking at just a few different things off screen, we're starting to see a little bit more rotation on this one that we once were. Now, you see they cleaned up the warnings a little bit. They let some of those other ones expire. So that's a good sign for the people in Muskingum County that's been hit pretty hard today as well with warnings. But this one is intensifying again for all intensive purposes. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to show you something here if I can flip over to it. Kind of show you one of the tools that we look at off screen and kind of explain it. Let's see if I get this to work. Let's see here. Oh, maybe. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm going to show you something that I continue to look at off screen. It's one of our very good indicators. As as weather people, you have lots of different things to look at. And one of the quickest things that I look at that always seems to help me, and it just depends. Every weatherman is different, and every weather person is different. Weather girl be different. We have meteorologist Adriana Michaels. Um, so every weather person is different, but this is something that's called normalized rotation. This is a product, again, I have lots of radars up on screens all over, but this is something called normalized rotation, and it's starting to become a little bit pertinent that there's more rotation going on in this area. So we start to see a green within a blue, and this isn't really scientific terms. I'm trying to explain this to you. This is something that we continue to keep our eye on and very focused on because we're seeing more and more rotation. So normalized rotation, when we look at this, the Doppler radar measures the intensity inside of a thunderstorm. So it acts as like a stress test for thunderstorms and how tightly and dangerously the wind is spinning. It uses a calculation and correlates the tornado potential. So looking at this basically is showing you, we say normalized rotation, this shows us what we would see as tornado potential. The darker we get in the greens, which you can see there on your screen, it just updated, the more potential that we have for looking at a tornado. Normally, we use velocity, right? So if we look at our regular velocity, we're looking at the winds, but sometimes that just doesn't help distinguishing what would say a true tight tornado threat. Gusting winds is very impossible sometimes to look at. And I will show you this to you, kind of give you a little bit of mathematics going on here. So looking here on the right side of the screen, kind of double boxed, if you will, we're looking at storm relative velocity. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it over to base velocity, kind of see. This is becoming way more pronounced, but sometimes we can't see it like this, and sometimes it's embedded. So we want to try to figure out as quickly and as accurately as we can where the true rotation is. So we look at this product called normalized rotation, and this shows us right where normally that we can see the most intense portion of that rotation that we're looking at. Now, again, we look at lots of different things. So normally I'm looking at a 4-screen. I know you can't see that, but I'm looking at velocity, base velocity, and then even looking here down for normalized rotation, and then that debris ball tracker that we were looking at earlier. So I will say, as we look at this, and we go back here to the panel, let's go ahead and go back to the 2 panel, look, and let's flip this one back over to normalized rotation. If you're in this warning, you need to make sure you're in your tornado safe shelter. We don't see it look like this as often in Ohio, so this is a pretty good indication that there's a lot of rotation going on. And again, within the side of this storm cell already, there's ping pong ball size hail. So if you're in, I believe Fly is a town that populated Graysville and Reinhard Mills, you need to be in your tornado safe shelter. So again, just kind of giving you a little bit of behind the scenes and what some of the things that we look at, and just kind of looking here at this one. So again, very valid, and I'm going to flip that over here. Just 1 second. Let's get us back over to the main radar. Very valid warning here for just outside of Graysville, even portions of Graysville in this one for our friends here in Monroe County and Washington County. All right, let's bounce back over here to the Wilmington radar. We're starting to see damage reports come in as we probably expected for portions here of Wilmington. And let's go ahead and get synced up with that one. Give me 1 second here. So let's look at the tornado warning real quick in progress for those of you that are in this general area. For portions of Adams County and Brown County. So the tornado warning still is valid for southeastern Brown County and west central Adams County until 4:15. Radar indicated rotation capable of producing a tornado near Georgetown, moving southeast at 25 miles an hour. So again, this one has had a history of producing actual tornado on the ground, and we're starting to see damage reports that are coming in for this, and that was to be expected. We had seen just a plethora across Claremont County, a plethora of debris ball on the correlation coefficient as it was continuing to move across the area. So I'll zoom in, and this is the first time I'm reading some of these storms with you, or these damage reports with you. So they're saying that power lines and transformer down over a driveway on Fagans Run Road, and then up here, I think this is a wind report. So they got a gust up to 46 there, and trees down and wires on a car with people inside. This one's also coming in. So we're expecting in this corridor, we haven't seen it as of yet, but right down south of Amelia, not sure how much damage. I'm not sure how much population's in this general area, but I guarantee you there's some tornado tracks down here, because we were seeing debris being lofted in the air at a pretty good rate earlier. Enough where the National Weather Service said, we don't even need to know or have somebody look at it. It was already a confirmed tornado based on the debris ball signature that they saw. All right, so continuing to look at this here for Adams County and Brown County. Still see some of those inflow notches from the backside, but again, looking at velocity, still see a little bit of rotation here as it moves out into Adams County. I would say you're probably going to see another tornado warning for Adams County here shortly. This is getting to the edge of that polygon, and I think the storm motion is picking up just a little bit on this. Again, this tornado warning right now goes until 4:15, but it's going to be outside of the polygon here in just a few moments. All right, so now they, as I just said that, you can see they lit it up with a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag. So we'll have to wait and see if they reissue that. I don't know. They're kind of in a waiting game, it looks like. They went ahead and issued this severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Adams County just to have something out, but continuing to look at this, still looks like there's a decent amount of rotation here. Well, the latest one kind of weakened it just a bit, but a decent amount of rotation there where they may or may not reissue it. We'll have to wait and see. But for all intents and purposes, looking at that one's probably going to expire early because it's 3:53 right now. That one goes until 4:15, so we got a little bit of time on that one. And Washington County, our friends, it's your turn in Washington County. You can see here, we'll go bounce over to that, a new tornado warning for you as that storm cell that we were looking at just a little bit ago, and we were looking at normalized rotation, is ticking towards the south. So just going to hit outside of that one polygon, and just to be safe, they went ahead and reissued here another tornado warning until 4:30 for again, portions of Washington County here just to cover it. That one, again, looking very prominent on radar. So this new one is for northeastern Washington counties, just to the outside of here, for northeastern Washington County here in Ohio. Outside of our coverage area for northwestern Tyler County as well. So it moves into Tyler County in West Virginia until 4:30. Radar indicated rotation right now. So Sistersville, it'll be in your area around 4 o'clock. Middleburn around 4:10. So again, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado in this general area as well. Make sure you get to the lowest level of your house and cover your neck and head. I wouldn't be surprised to see debris and some other tornado damage come out of Caldwell, Muskingum County. There's been a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and I don't think a lot of people have even gotten outside to see it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised, based on some of the signatures that I saw here, that we would see some pretty good rotation and not rotation, some damage coming out of some of this as well. Wouldn't be surprised right now. I could tell you this one continues to look impressive here for portions of Washington and Monroe County. You need to make sure, again, that you're in that tornado safe shelter and covering your neck and head. We're continuing to see here some pretty strong rotation here. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I'm kind of surprised they just let that one drop for Washington or for Monroe County. But yeah, that one kind of surprises me there. Maybe they'll reissue it. I don't know. But that one is surprising because I'm not sure why that one northern was going to 4:15. They just dropped it. So the rotation I'm seeing is clearly outside of their polygon. But okay. I would still say be in your tornado safe shelter. If you're just outside of Graysville in this generalized area, I'd be in your tornado safe shelter because we're again seeing a lot of rotation coming out of that storm right now. All right. So yes, if you're in Noble County, you are no longer under a tornado warning right now, and I don't even think you're not even under a severe thunderstorm. Well, yeah, you are. Portions of Noble's under a severe thunderstorm warning, but not a tornado warning right now. Bouncing back over here towards Washington Courthouse, and again, this stretch, I can tell you, this whole stretch of Muskegon. I'll stay back here for just a minute. I wouldn't be surprised, based on the number of tornado warnings that we had, that we wouldn't see some sort of rotation or damage and some sort of tornado confirmed on the ground in some of those areas, especially across portions of Morgan County and Noble County. I think Caldwell got hit pretty good because they were under like 3 warnings at once. So yeah. So looking here again, I'm going to stay on this one real quick because I tell you the latest update that I just popped up on my screen is showing this tornado warning here for Washington County now, pretty much just portions of the northeastern portion of Washington County. This storm cell showing a ton of rotation, very clear rotation. As you can see, the inflow notch, very, very clear. Now, some of you are not under a tornado warning in portions of Monroe County. You probably should be, but you're not. So be in your tornado safe shelter. If you're in Sistersville, yeah, you should be in your tornado safe shelter. Even in Graysville, I would still be in your tornado safe shelter, depending on the address. But New Matamoros, I think I said that right. You need to be in that tornado safe shelter as well, because this one's still showing really, really, really good, strong signs of rotation that you can see. You can clearly see it on that inflow notch product. That you can see it right here, very clear. And yeah, definitely there. So need to be in that tornado safe shelter. So a couple things here while we're looking at this. I think, yeah, somebody's helped me out in the comments. Multiple reports of damage in the Amelia area in Claremont County. Definitely Monroe County, like right now. I still wouldn't be surprised that there's not a tornado on the ground. It's not confirmed, but heavy damage, I wouldn't be surprised in that area. Muskegon County Emergency Management Agency says there's heavy damage reported from Zanesville to southeast to Duncan Falls. Lots of trees down and trees on homes. Also in Muskegon County, we're seeing trees uprooted on the ground. Appears damage outside of a house. So definitely seeing lots of damage starting to come in across these 2 areas really that we've had these tornado warnings here today, especially Muskegon and Noble County being hit one of the hardest, but really, really getting smacked with really getting smacked here across Claremont County outside of Amelia. So that's kind of what's coming in here right now. All right, so just also too, we got to pause for the cause real quick. Brown and Adams County, that tornado warning has expired. They let it go, and they let it go early because it didn't show any other signs of rotation. It was, and it kind of weakened on the latest scan that we showed you, but now it's over. So they let that tornado warning expire. So we are tornado warning free in Brown and Adams County. Looking here, kind of zooming back out, the only tornado warning that we have currently in Ohio is a little sliver of Washington County. Washington County being the only tornado warning. This one goes until 4:30 and even crosses into West Virginia and Tyler County. That one, definitely we don't let your guard down. You need to be in your tornado safe shelter on that one. Get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is just huge. On this one, and we're still seeing just lots of rotation in this one. So please make sure you're in that tornado safe shelter on that one. So they kind of upgraded this, and I'm sorry you can't see it the correct way, to a considerable damage tag, which is interesting. So as we continue to preach that one, and I continue to say that one, I'm going to flip over to another product that can show this a little bit clearer. Let's go ahead and go to one panel. So considerable damage tag here. Yeah. but still it doesn't have that new warning cleared. All right, so you are under that warning. All right, the radar just hit it on us. That's why I'm going to flip products here. Not sure what's going on with that. All right, here we go. Here's the tornado warnings that's got going on. So you were under that tornado warning that I had mentioned earlier that you weren't. But all right, here we go. So tornado warning remains in effect for southwestern Monroe County. That's that northern one. Damaging tornado and ping pong ball size hail. National Weather Service says this is a dangerous situation. Take cover now. A significant tornado, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a significant tornado, was located 13 miles south of Woodsfield or 13 miles south west of New Martinsville, moving southeast at 45 miles an hour. This is a life-threatening situation. They upgraded this to a considerable damage tag, so you need to be in your tornado-safe shelter at this point. For the portions of Washington County as well, again, same situation. This one goes until 4:30. Right here, you can kind of see right here in Monroe County, just coming into Sistersville outside of Brownsville, probably seeing a very, very, very large tornado that's possible. Seeing a ton of rotation in this area. Just kind of reading some things. And so back in Clermont County, I was just kind of reading some of your comments there. Back in Clermont County, which is Amelia, they're no longer under a tornado warning. There is no tornado warnings in that general area down here towards Cincinnati. There's severe thunderstorm warnings for Adams County, but that tornado warning in Amelia that's producing and damage reports continue to come in was for Clermont County. So they're in the clear right now. So we do have this particularly dangerous situation, here with this very, very strong rotation return coming in. I'm going to flip over to two panels here, and we'll show you here. This is where that rotation is. Looking at the right-hand side of your screen. Sorry, I got to adjust a little bit. Looking at the right-hand side of your screen again. We're over here in Monroe County. Looking at the right-hand side of your screen here. Kind of see here that rotation very, very clearly. Let's go ahead and put it on base velocity. It shows you even clearer of where we're seeing. This is looking at winds and almost maxing out the scale to a point. But look at these winds. Look at these winds going inbound and outbound. Crazy amount of wind down there. Now, I'm not sure how much population is down there, but if you're in Sistersville, time's up. Look at that. Latest scan just came in. Holy moly. And this is crossing right out of our coverage area right now into West Virginia. But look at this. Holy moly. That is very, very strong. We're seeing returns over 100 miles an hour coming out of that particular storm. So this, again, 2-inch hail, large particular tornado, very possible that it's on the ground. So this is an extremely dangerous situation and a potential deadly tornado that's developing as it's moving over into Tyler County in West Virginia, just couldn't really cross out of Washington County and Monroe County for our area. Wouldn't be surprised if damage reports coming in out of that one, but holy moly that we're seeing just crazy amounts of wind returns on this one. Normally, and I could say it this way, we're quite a bit of ways away from the radar site in Pittsburgh. Let's go and flip over to Charleston, just to look at it from Charleston. But seeing that kind of wind come out of the radar site being that far away, that's a very, very strong return. Pittsburgh gives us a much better look at this, but yeah, very strong. So if you're in that area, if you're in Washington County and portions of southeastern Monroe County, you need to be in your tornado-safe shelter. Sistersville, it's right over you right now. Heads up to you. Getting a little bit further into into West Virginia, Middlebourne heads up to you as well. This is heading directly for you. And as you can see, that very clear inflow notch right here and that 2-inch hail marker. So very, very clear, very, very strong rotation for this area down here in Monroe County and portions of Washington County. So definitely need to be in your tornado safe shelter if you're in that one. This one, again, is crossing over, and the rotation looks like it pretty much has crossed over into West Virginia right now, but just a little bit here near Sistersville, even Brownsville. You're still in some of that action right now, but definitely need to be in that tornado safe shelter if you're in that area. Get to the lowest level of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. All right, so with that being said, the tornado warnings, the rotation is moving out of Ohio now, as far as this one that we were just looking at. Kind of looking back across the area here, we still have a little bit of some storms moving towards Adams County. We're going to continue to see a plethora of severe thunderstorm warnings that we are seeing as well. Let's go ahead and look. I'm going to go ahead and flip back over to the other radar product. You can see the very intense rain being with that. So definitely a crazy amount of rain with this. So we're going to see lots of flash flooding. And again, we're going to see, going to continue to see damage reports coming out of Clermont County. I'm kind of watching these. Transformer down, large tree down into a house. Wind report there, trees down. So we're going to continue to see in Clermont County here, where that confirmed tornado was earlier, we're going to continue to see more and more damage reports come in on that. So need to make sure, again, check on your loved ones there in Clermont County if you know anybody in that area, because it's just kind of a crazy thing that's going on here in Clermont County. And kind of flip back over real quick here towards our friends, if I can, pop that back up. For our friends here just crossing into West Virginia, you can see that very clear inflow notch right there, just over Sistersville right now. Very plain as day. Sistersville, hopefully, and you're in your tornado safe shelter. Could be seeing a little bit of a debris ball with that, but man, looking at the winds inbound and outbound, this is what they call a considerable damage threat. Considerable tornado could be forming here. We're not getting a lot of reports out of this area, but could be forming right now in this general area as it moves into West Virginia. All right, so with that being said, at this point, we're going to take a pause, and because that rotation is now out of Ohio, that tornado warning will be allowed to expire a little bit, well, not early, but the tornado warning for portions of Ohio, that rotation has pretty much moved out of Ohio now. We're going to take a pause, and we're going to kind of collect our thoughts, reset, get some damage reports, get some things here, and potentially come back live as we need to throughout the afternoon here. But thank you for continuing to be with us on severe weather coverage here in Ohio News and Weather. We do appreciate that, and having your trust and faith with us. We do appreciate that. Keep your prayers for many people today. Keeping your prayers, Clermont County, portions of Brown County, Muskingum County, now Monroe and Washington counties, Noble County as well. Lots of reports of potential damage coming in from those areas, and we'll continue to gather that information and present it as we can. So with that being said, right now we're going to take a pause for the cause, and we don't have any rotation in Ohio right now, and we'll continue to come back live as needed.